Welcome back to the Coding Fanatic YouTube channel. I'm your host, Richard Clark, and I am a full-stack Android developer with a focus on efficiency when it comes to learning new skills, keeping up with your projects and committing to them until the end, and working on teams with others. These are the core values that I believe are essential for every software developer, and my goal with this channel is to take the tools that I've learned in those areas and pass my teachings or what I've learned onto you. If that sounds like something you're interested in, then hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you can see when I upload new videos like this each week. Also, head to the Coding Fanatic YouTube channel and subscribe to my mailing list. You'll be the first to know when I upload new content like this each week, before anybody else. With that being said, let's get into the video. For those of you who are new to the channel, last time I talked about some upcoming changes to my Salesman's travel app, link in the description below. You can also find it on the Google Play Store now. If you want to download it, test it, let me know what you think. So the last week I worked on the app, I updated the list activity, which showed the list of addresses, to now, instead of using hard-coded strings, pull the addresses from a real-time database. This week, I updated the search activity to do something similar. Now, originally, I set up the activity by hard coding, taking private strings that were included in the homes class, which is a custom class I built for this project. I took those private strings and I used them to initialize new home objects or instantiate new home objects, and then used that information to display the addresses within the app. However, now that I have learned how to pull data from Firebase, I added logic which would, pull the addresses as strings into the app, and then take those strings and instantiate the new home objects, then use those home objects to display information within the app. So, long story short, I added new logic which would replace the old hard-coded strings in this activity with data being pulled in from Firebase. What stood out to me the most in this part was overriding the onChildAdded method for the child event listener. This is what is responsible for pulling that data from Firebase or from a real-time database into the app. And within that method, you can define logic which would take that information and manipulate it however you want. So in my case, I took the snapshot from the real-time database, added it to or assigned its value to a string variable. Then I used that string variable as an argument to instantiate the home object. I would take that home object and then add it to the array adapter, which would then be used to populate a list view, which in this case would be the list of addresses that you see within the app. Now, when I did this, something I noticed was I'm only doing it once. I'm only writing this code once, but it's being run iteratively over time, so that each element of the database is pulled into the app, assigned to a string, used to instantiate the object and display it in the app. So in a way, this onChildAdded method is similar to a while loop. And what it does is, while you're reading elements from the real-time database, it pulls each one and it does something for each element. In this case, for each element, it's being assigned to a string, and then that's being manipulated to display it in the app. So I thought that was really interesting. It's like it automatically does it for each element. And so if you're populating something like a list view or a grid or something like that, it pretty much your only goal here is to define what you want to do with one element, and it'll do it for all of them. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Now this next part kind of pains me to say it, but I think I'm finished with the Salesman's travel app. In fact, I'm positive I'm done working on it now. I've learned a lot along the way, and like I said before, this started out as a coding challenge, and it was a Java coding challenge. I only did it to get my feet wet and get back into programming again, and had the idea to turn it into an app, and here I am today. It's on the Play Store. It's got a front end design. It's got a back end real-time database setup, and all of these. I learned so many skills along the way from this one single project. Now I know there are improvements that could be made, and again, if you want to download it, it's on the Google Play Store. I'll put a link in the description. You can download it, test it, tell me if you have any ideas for ways I can improve it. But I'm aware that it's not perfect, but it's functional, and it does what I intended it to do when I first had the idea of turning it into an app. But I think it's time for me to work on something new. And even though I had a few ideas for things I wanted to do to optimize the app and change it up and make it a little better, but honestly, I think I would benefit more if I took that and just did those things in a brand new project. Start new, do something new, you know? So, and of course, any new skills I learn, I can always come back and update the app accordingly if I so choose. You know, you might see it again sometime in the future. So I'll say that I am I'm done working on this app for my main project, but this is not the last you've seen of the Salesman's Travel app for sure. It's gonna make a comeback. You can count on that. But yeah, with that being said, thank you all so much again for tuning in. This is your host Richard, signing out. I would like you watching this video to download the Salesman's Travel app, mess around with it for 2 minutes, and tell me what you think. What are some changes you would make? How would you update it? And I'll sift through it, and who knows, maybe I'll keep working on it just a little bit longer. But I will be starting a new project, maybe in tandem. But either way, I'm starting something new because it's time for something new. But yeah, let me know what you think, and don't forget to follow me on social media and join the mailing list on codingfanatic.com so you see updates when I make new content like this before anyone else. So yeah, thanks again everyone so much, and I'll see you next week for my developer's thoughts on the Salesman's Travel app project. So yeah, take care everyone. Peace.